Page 23, song. Common time or 4/4 time. It's 1 sharp in the key signature. We are in the key of E minor. Make sure you can do the scale, the E minor scale. At least 1 octave up and down. Let's take it 1 hand at a time and get the fingering and the rhythm and all that worked out. Right hand, you're starting here. And remember, all the F's are sharped. 1 and 2 and 3. Now, second finger. And then you just come down and do it again. Second finger. 1 and 2 and then measure 5, lift up and come up. 2, 1. Then use the thumb as your pivot and you come across. And then again. Do it again. Go ahead and connect the thumb. D sharp there, measure 8. Look out. And you do that some more. Let's go down to the bottom. Measure 15. 2 beats of rest, and then you come on high C. Yeah, F natural, I know. And then 5th finger. And you didn't really have to. You could have stayed with 4, but I like the idea of using different fingers, so I'm going to encourage you to do this for the practice. Left hand, treble clef, and you're up here. 3/1, and then don't forget the F star. Try and get these down at the same time. This is tricky. Connect them. What I'm doing is I use weight to push the notes down. I have to control how much weight. I mean, I don't let all the weight fall. It's some weight. But what I'm doing is I have this down, and when I get my fingers ready for the next one, I raise my wrist up, and as I lower the wrist, I'm lowering the weight. And I simply switch fingers. Again, each time I'm doing that. I keep going, then you have here. Now the G here is tied. This is measure 3 and 4. The G is tied. We're just changing the lower note. Here, 3, 4, 3. And then lift up. Measure 5, 1 and 2. Then thumb. Go on. 1 and 2. 1. And then for measure 9, you're back sort of what you're doing before, except now we're going to go down. They're saying 5/1, and then at 1/2. Now these are parallel thirds, what we call this. So when you're going down like this, it's an interval of a third apart, and you're just going down. There are different ways of fingering these, and it depends on how big your hands are and how flexible you are and how much control you have. For right now, the fingering in the book is fine. You're going to have to lift up sometimes. Here, and they say a 5/1, and then lift up and come down here for a 2/1. It's between slurs, isn't that handy? Where you're going to lift up anyway. And then a 3/1, a 2/4, and a 5/1, and then lift up again. Now measure 15, they're saying 3/1. So if you have big hands and fat fingers and that doesn't work, you can try this. 2/4, and then come across 1/3, and then a 2/4 or 4/2, I should say, and then a 3/5 here if you want. It's a little awkward, but no matter what you do, it's awkward. So otherwise, use the fingering in the book is here, and then a 2/4 or 4/2, and then a 5/1, and then a 4/2 here. You're still coming across. We do this sometimes. We have to come across between little and finger. Sometimes you got to do that, and so don't shy away from it. But that's just really awkward. Do your best to connect those as best you can. So they're doing this, and then you have a rest for here and then here. Put the hands together. 1 and 2. 2. Then we can try the dynamics. This is for the melody wherever it is. And most of it's right hand, but on measure 5 and that line in there, left hand gets melody. So softly, dolce means sweetly, singing style. You think that and try and play it. Try and play what you think. I get the left. Keep everything in the background. I tend to put a little swell in each other because that's how I feel it. I feel it there. I do it. I put a little. That's how I felt it. That's how I played it. Measure 5. Then you come up to moderately loud, but that's the melody. It's the left hand. These chords, keep them soft. Measure H coming down. Soft. And now you're soft again in measure 9. And on measure 10, you start to crescendo and get loud by the time you get to measure 12. But don't get loud until measure 12. So plan it. See that there is the left hand's staying out of the way. It's the right hand. And then measure 13, all of a sudden you're soft. And then 2 beats of silence. It's like a pause, but it's built in. And then meno mosso. Well, I'll come back to the meno mosso. That's not dynamic. So here we're soft. And then come down to very soft. The left hand should be very soft anyway, so barely hear the left hand. Then we get to the speed, andantino. People don't agree what andantino means, so whatever your teacher says is fine. I ain't getting into it. To me, andantino is just under moderato. You have moderato and andante, and andantino's in there. Some people say it's slower than andante. Well, it's fine, whatever. But just keep it on the slow side of the middle. And that's the feel of it. It's not the beat. What's the feel? You don't want to drag it. That's too slow. That's slow. That's like a largo almost. It's just the meno mosso at the bottom. Meno means less, mosso means motion. It means less motion, which means don't play so fast. Now, you don't slow it down. You just, all of a sudden, you're going slower. It's just, so however fast you were going, the measure before. 1, 2, 3, 4, slow it down. 2. It's like an afterthought. And you don't need to slow down any more than that. Just slow it down there. I like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. So I'm not going to do the dynamics. And I can't do the meno mosso thing at the end. We have to keep a steady tempo. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just play it together slowly. Do it with me one hand at a time for a while if you have to. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 3 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and and 2 and 3 and 4 and off.